Hey everybody, so I am back today doing a bit of a showcase of not only my artillery crew, my British artillery crew for Muskets and Tomahawks, but also the display turntable piece that I talked about in a prior video that I wanted to create just to be able to put some of my historical stuff on there at times instead of just the black piece. And it was also a bit of a test for the river that I want to do, so I've kind of combined it for that as well. I'll just show real quick some of the guys. I didn't get up extremely close on the video just because of showing the display piece itself, but this is sort of my British Royal Artillery. So this was a new paint scheme for me because I've never painted artillery before, so I have not painted British in the blue, and so that was very interesting. Had to do a little bit of research online just to see what the uniform looked like. It's quite colorful. It's very nice, actually. In some ways it does remind me of some of the other continental European armies at the time with some of their choice in colors. I think a lot of these colors I've observed are fairly common, like, you know, the blue, red, and gold are sort of common colors in that colonial period for uniforms, and so the fact that some countries overlapped in their designs shouldn't be that surprising, I don't think. Although I know there are some that are strikingly different as well. I've showed this one before, so not a whole lot to show there. I wanted to show this piece a bit. So I did try to create a bit of I wanted to do, you probably notice this isn't blue, I wanted to do a greenish brown kind of river. I'll show a picture of what I had in mind for my river board. The effect that I'm trying to achieve, so you can see why I went with this color. I'm trying to go with what I remember not only from being on the East Coast at times with some of the rivers, but just essentially what I've seen in pictures as well recently, and going for just a bit of a natural look. And so that's what I went with that. I do like the shine, you know, for the water effect. I did also apply some surface water effects to try to show some brokenness in spots, water flowing through the fastest parts around the rocks, and I painted little white caps in little spots where it would be hitting rocks or where I think the water might be disturbed. I tried not to go overboard with it though. I tried to do everything subtle. It's something I've picked up along the way, is that a little bit means a lot, you know, but too much ruins it real quick. And then I just went for a simple board. You know, I didn't want it to block miniatures that I display, but I also wanted it to look kind of cool, and I wanted to try some different things. I've never used some of this fine leaf foliage by Woodland Scenics, so I thought it'd be cool to have a bit of a branch over there. These are rocks, or green sculpted rocks, that I just put in. And so yeah, this is foam underneath as to create a bit of a gradient. One of the things I experimented with is I wanted to create a much deeper pour for this river, and I'll talk a little bit about that in a moment. As you can see, it's much deeper than what it is. It's very thin. But then in experimenting with the deep pour, I also wanted it to not look like, I wanted it to look flat still. And so the way I tried to achieve that, and I think I did in this respect, is I created a gradual gradient from this point all the way through. And to do that, this is foam essentially through here. I use my hot wire foam cutter to cut that. But then the rest is plaster. And so I essentially just created a bit of a gradient there. Now, I liked the look of this product on somebody else's river, and to be honest, they weren't really going for a really deep pour, and I worried a little bit about this, but I didn't use a hobby-based product because I really like the shine on this product, and this is actually just quick dry polyurethane. This is just Minwax, fast drying polyurethane. It's actually a really nice water effect. It dries fairly quick. It's not the most expensive stuff in the world. And just for, sorry about that hitting the camera, just for a shine, if you wanted something like the top of these rocks, or to a degree just a very limited depth but a nice shine, it works really, really good. The problem is it's not meant to be poured really, really thick, but also my ability to dam this, to be able to keep a pour in, was quite limited. I actually experimented with wax paper and duct tape to try to keep it in, and this stuff is very thin, this Minwax polyurethane, and it leaked. The back of this, you can see the leak. I'm just going to turn this a little bit, sorry. You can see where this dried on the back of the MDF and leaked underneath. It was a bit of a mess. It actually took the top of my mat here, all the lines that were on it, off, and it wasn't a good experience. And so I didn't get the deep pour that I wanted. It's definitely shallower. I'm going to try a different product next. This is one of those situations, I don't know if you guys have ever had this before, but like, I've seen recommendations and I watched a lot of videos, and I decided not to go with the recommendations and go with this product, which I saw on a video done successfully, just not in a deep pour. And I kind of did a bit of an experiment and it didn't work. It worked in the sense that it's not a bad looking display piece, I don't think. It could just be viewed as just a shallow running river going through, but it wasn't. It failed in that one respect. I didn't get the deep pour I wanted, and so I'm interested in what you guys think, but particularly around the damming. I'm thinking of using Play-Doh next time, like getting Play-Doh to use to try to seal off an MDF border here. And I'm thinking about using Envirotex Light, as I believe what the name is. There are a number of folks on YouTube that have demoed that, and hobbyists, and it seems to work pretty good. It can even be tinted, and I can experiment with doing a bit of a light, a very fine green tint to try to get that same effect that I was trying to look more of a natural looking river. Yeah, that's sort of it. I hope you guys still like this. Just, you know, I still think it was a bit of a success. It still looks nice, and I'm still going to use it. Just not perfect, right? And I always view everything as a learning experience, and yeah, you know, I think if I didn't want a deep pour, this would actually work really well. And if it's dark, it does give the illusion of a deep pour sometimes. And the gentleman that did the video with this used a blue river, a dark blue river, and it did look quite deep, even though it didn't. I don't think it was. It was just 3 light coats. Stuff is sort of toxic though, like, you know, you don't want to be in the room over it while it's drying. You can definitely smell it. So, alright, well, I will have other videos up shortly, and I hope you guys liked this showcase. Take care.